Today, I don't really have anything in particular to talk about. I was just kind of moving stuff around, so I figured, well, I'll just grab some stuff. And so this is the kind of stuff that I have. What shall we start with? How about this? Important things like this. So I even have a little 3x5 index card saying, I'll hold it up for the YouTube video though, so you can see my penmanship from the 80s. Just something that was on one of Neil Blender's boards. And yeah, so right now it's forward. Yeah. So I think what he had done is he had made like just a hand-drawn graphic and had taped it to the bottom of his board. And it even has, I'll hold it up this way because it'll be backwards, but look, you can see the dimensions. See, now I got to turn it around so that, the YouTube video will show it the correct way. But yeah, I don't know why I ended up with this. I think it just, during a session, it got ripped off of his board. I was like, ooh, Neil Blender art. So I grabbed it and promptly put a 3x5 index card on it so I knew what it was. But like I wouldn't know what it was because it says Neil on it. So there's one thing in a box. And here's another thing in a box. I hold it up. Skateboarders will know that back in the 80s, before people would go to the skate park with lacquer and paint the coping basically to make it slick, we all used copers. Even Alan Losey used copers. And here is one of his, very well used. See, one of Al Losey's well-used copers. And yes, completely worn through on the grind side to the truck. And this, for the trivia people, you can kind of see this was a Z coper. So the Z-Flex trucks, not the Z-Rollers, they made these copers. But I think because they have like a flat edge or flat ledge, and they're really hard. So this grinded really well and really fast. And Alan Losey was able to get this onto his tracker truck and stay on, and so he used this. But the problem with the copers being made so hard is that if you tried to put it on a different truck, aside from a Z-Flex truck, sometimes it would just shatter when you try to snap it on there. But Alan Losey was successful, and he did very, 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 very long grinds, stand-up grinds with this copers. Back then he was probably going 8 blocks when everybody else was going 2 or 3, and so there we go. Al Losey. This is in a box in my garage too. So yeah. Wait, I have to go back. Somebody said something. Wait. Aaron Imeza. Did everyone really worship at the altar of Neil like I'd imagine? Yes. I have to say that everyone is a fan of Mr. Neil Blender. Just all around, his personality is hilarious, but also kind of biting kind of humor, so that, if you're on the other end of the joke, you might not realize it. But just funny guy. Just very smart, very quick-witted, and ridiculously creative. Definitely. And his skating, for somebody that big and really tall and just kind of a big guy, it was amazing to see him skate because he landed so softly and so perfectly all the time. I still don't understand how he makes that work. So Neil Blender, yes, you are correct. Everyone in the skateboard industry will always be a fan of Neil Blender, for sure. Let's see what else I have in my box of junk. So I found a couple of things here. This is a sticker from Lester Kasai's first company, Kasai Designs. So this was the company that was before he signed on with Tracker, and I think that something happened with the finances behind this company that it fell through, and so he talked to Tracker, and Tracker said, "Yeah, we will do your boards, and it'll be under the Tracker umbrella, but it will be Kasai Designs," and it turned into the House of Kasai, which I was fortunate enough to be a member of. So that will tie into this. This is the prototype for Lester's wheels, Lester Marbles. And so this was the first graphic, which I think made it onto maybe 5 sets of wheels, maybe. I don't know. But our idea was, so we were both riding Rat Bones. The Rat Bones, Powell Rat Bones, for those of you who don't know, was unlike other wheels. It was kind of just a square-edged wheel, which I have to say, Dino Mueller wheels were basically roller skate wheels. That's where the Rat Bones came from. So I hate to break it to you 80s guys, Rat Bones fans, you guys are riding roller skate wheels. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Rat Bones are great wheels. So anyway, we said, well, I want something that rides like a Rat Bone wheel. But then we was like, but maybe we can put some conical on it. And then of course we're like, yeah, we could do it like vintage style, like rounded thing and sort of a black heart sort of thing. But anyway, so we took the Rat Bones wheel and added conical to the inside and out. And maybe you can hear it's. Can you hear that? Lathed wheels were a big thing. So they have like really, really fine tread, I guess you could call it, so that the wheel surface was always true. The downside of the lathed wheel is that until you break them in, they're really slippery because you have like basically half the riding surface because it's all grooved in. But at that point, then they ride like normal wheels, and these were really good wheels, very hard and fast. The unfortunate downside is by the time we got our act together and got the wheel, and I don't have an example, but they ended up actually with a dragon instead of the yin and yang kind of a thing that we started out with. But by the time we got these wheels in production and everything, everybody wanted smaller wheels, wanted narrower wheels. So that's the way it goes. Always a little behind the curve. So anyway, yeah, Lester Marble. So there's that. And then I have a hat. Here we go. Yes, a B and a B. For you guessed it, Bones Brigade. So this was, I think this is a trade show item, and they gave it to us at the trade show. And it's a weird corduroy kind of thing. Hats weren't as popular then. Was not a big thing, so I don't think anybody kept these. I kept mine, even after I left the team. So here we go, in my house, taking up space, and it is kind of smashed, of course, from being in a box for many years. But maybe I'll fix it one of these days. Yeah. See, it's all random stuff. So I'm going to close out the randomness of today with this little tidbit here. Drum roll, please, right? So, in it's dated, 1987, Powell thought, it's kind of hard to keep up with all these guys, and stuff being all over the place. So why don't we, yeah, I mean, not a yard sale. This is just, I had nothing interesting in particular, no big story to sell. So I just grabbed some stuff I was moving around. So anyway, here we go. Here's the yard sale item. That's right. Powell gave the team credit cards. Gee, I don't know why, but that was a short-lived idea. I can't imagine why. So, me in '87, just about basically just turning pro, and so I got it, and I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. And so at the time, I needed to get a pair of shoes, and I'm like, I have this card, I could do that. So I call them up, talk to accounting, and they say, hey, I know these are really meant for tour expenses or while we're at a contest and that kind of thing. So I would like to go buy a pair of shoes. Like it was just one pair of shoes because I really need some shoes. And accounting was, well, we don't really, that's not really the intent of the card, but go ahead. So just keep the receipt, make sure we get the receipt, and that way we know what it is that you bought. And so, yes, I went, and I was all nervous, and didn't think they were going to actually take it. And I bought a pair of Air Jordans and put it on the card, on the company card. And it went through, and it was fine. And so there it is. But later I found out from the higher-ups at Powell that while I was all worried about buying my one pair of shoes, somebody had bought like a stereo, and somebody bought a new mattress, and so people were buying just stuff. So, yeah, and needless to say, okay, we're gonna cut those cards. You gotta stop. And so I kept it. I think it was, when is that? See, it's a really short. Well, it was valid till June of '87, but it looks like it's only valid for a couple of months somehow. But anyway. Powell credit card, put it on the card, yeah. So I was all nervous about that, but everybody else made it go away. So, not my fault, I was good. I was honest, but hey, that's the way it goes.